Golden State Media Concepts Sci-Fi Podcast. Together we dive into the world of sci-fi and science fiction. From episodes of Star Trek, Star Wars, to The Walking Dead, Resident Evil, all the hot new science fiction movies from the backdoors of Marvel or DC. The Golden State Media Concepts Sci-Fi Podcast. You'll never look at science fiction the same way again.
Welcome to the GSMC SciFi Podcast with your favorite host, Ryan Holloway, brought to you by and presented on the GSMC Podcast Network to fulfill all of your podcasting needs. Now, I'm going to give you a heads up, just to let you guys know I'm going to review Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. There's going to be some spoilers in this, but there's not really any spoilers because I feel like you already know what's going to happen in this movie, right? So there's dinosaurs, and some nobody cast members are going to die. And the people that are in the movie, like the heroes, they'll live. Like, there's no real spoilers. That's why we go see movies like this. Before I get into that, I just want to make a public service announcement for those of you that go to the movies. There's two types of movie people. There's two types. There's people like me that like to go when the movies are tranquil. We like to go sometime during the daytime, maybe on sometime during the day, Monday through Thursday. If you're lucky, you'll catch me on a Thursday. More than likely on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday during the daytime. Maybe a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning if possible. I don't go on Fridays and Saturdays. I don't do that because people that go to the movies during those times, they expect a certain thing and they expect a certain vibe. That's not the vibe I want to be around. So I choose to go during the matinee time, not only because it's cheap, but because that's when all the people are in the movies that never want to distract anyone. I'll give you an example. If you go to the movie on a Tuesday while there's 15 people in the movie theater, no one's going to get up to go to the bathroom. If you go to the movies on a Friday when there's 50 people in there, for some reason, 25 people will have to use the bathroom during the movie. Why? I don't know. I have no idea. When humans get around each other, usually actions are duplicated, mimicked, and everyone wants to be annoying at the same time. I say all that to say this. I got to the movie. I sat in my favorite seat. Someone decided to sit directly next to me in in the front aisle. Like where I was at, they sat in the aisle in front of me to the right. I'm like, you know what? This is a huge theater. I don't want to sit behind someone's head the whole time. Call me a prince. So what? There's plenty of space. I don't want to sit here. So I go sit somewhere else. I feel good about where I'm sitting at. I feel good getting ready to watch Jurassic World and come back and report to you guys. After everything that happens in the movie, I find out there's a gentleman behind me that does this after everything. After everything. When I say everything, I mean there's a part in the movie when the little girl says something. I won't tell you. There's like a small little twist, and I won't tell you guys that part. I'll let you have that. The little girl says something towards the end of the movie, and the guy says, And I mean, it's a surprising thing that she says because it's just a little twist. Prior to that, everything else he did that for was completely unnecessary. Every time a dinosaur would break through a wall and then do their like dinosaur yell thing, because every dinosaur has to do that, he would go, After a dinosaur would step on something, he would say, After every dinosaur fatality, if a dinosaur ate a person, For everything, even for the small, like, slapstick jokes that aren't funny, but they're supposed to be funny, but they're, I guess, regular human conversation. Same comments are for those two. And I'm thinking, like, you know what? I don't mind you being here. I don't mind you being here. I don't mind what you're doing. But this time on this day is when you're not supposed to be here. You can go to the movies on Friday and Saturday, sir. Those days are made for people like you that want to purposely be annoying because you want to squeeze into a box with a whole bunch of other people that want to squeeze into a box and battle over the armrest with someone. That day is for you. That day is for you to go and for you to do your Though that days is for you, sir. Don't bother us. Don't come over bothering us on our Tuesday. Don't do that to us. Don't. We have a nice agreement right now where we're at. We've got a good agreement between the weekday matinee people and between the weekend people where we don't cross lines. We don't. The way I see it, you want to know how I see it? This is how I see it. If you're someone that goes to movies on a Friday or Saturday and someone's talking during the movie, you don't get to say, shh. You want to know why? Because those are Friday, Saturday people in there. And you shouldn't have went on that day. You should know better. There's 2 different times to go. There's our people over here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, early day, Thursday. Then there's you people over there, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I won't go to your movie shushing you. Don't come to my movie, ing me during my movie. Don't come over here doing that. We have an agreement, sir. You know who you are. You know who you are. So with that, I saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. What I find funny, I don't know if that's the word, interesting, whatever. I had a colleague of mine tell me he saw the first one. He didn't like it. He didn't like the plot of the movie. He didn't enjoy it. And I said, why? He said, well, I thought it was stupid. And I was like, well, it's a PG-13 movie with dinosaurs in it. What do you expect? And he's like, well, I just thought the story could have been better. I was like, okay, fine. When I get to this movie and the plot starts to unfold in the first 20 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, this is stupid. I'm like, this is really stupid. But I have to remind myself, this is a dinosaur movie about dinosaurs. You know what the issue is this. When I got through the movie was good. The movie was good. I mean, it being a dinosaur movie and being what it was supposed to be as a dinosaur movie, it was good. My only problem was, I don't really know if this is a problem, but they have to go back to the island to get the dinosaurs, right? We all know this is going to happen because we see the preview. The only problem is how they get them back to this island. Like, what would make someone want to go back to this godforsaken island of terrible dinosaurs? What would make them want to do that? What would make them do it? You guys know what would make them do it? You guys know? No. Okay. Apparently, there's a volcano on this island, and the volcano's going to explode, and the dinosaurs are going to die. So there's these civil rights groups that are like, we have to save the dinosaurs. There has to be funding passed through Congress to save these dinosaurs and move them somewhere else and blah, blah, blah. Congress says, we're not going to get involved with the dinosaurs. We're not going to do that. That's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Bryce Dallas Howard, who plays Claire, she gets a call from a millionaire who's like, yo, we got this special island we're going to move all the dinosaurs to. We just need you to go get the raptor teacher, Chris Pratt. We need you to go get him so he can help us find the raptor, because we can't find the raptor on the island. So we need you to help us do this. And she's like, okay, whatever we can do to save dinosaurs. The billionaire told her they had this other island they're going to take the dinosaurs to. At that point, I was like, okay, I'm kind of sold. Like, I don't mind you relocating the dinosaurs, but this island is incredibly dangerous. Like, this island is dangerous. There's a bunch of dinosaurs on it. And if the volcano explodes, it explodes. To me, I was kind of like, what's the big deal? That's kind of how I felt. I don't belong to PETA. I don't belong to the WWF. I didn't really care. I'm like, okay, if the explodes, you know, like, so what? Right? Claire convinces Chris Pratt to go back to the island to help the hunters find the special blue dinosaur. Find Blue. His name is Blue. What ends up happening is they get turns out the billionaire that sends her over there, his assistant has special plans. His assistant actually arranges for Claire and Chris Pratt to get left on the island. He wants all dinosaurs stolen and brought back to this mansion so he could sell them. Now, when I kind of got into the movie after like the beginning of why they had to get to the island, I kind of began to understand how this could be entertaining, and then I really got into it. I'm gonna tell you exactly why as soon as I get back.
This is your ultimate stop for everything sports. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Should I say more? From the NFL, MLB, the NBA to MMA, it's all in here. The Golden State Media Concepts Sports Podcast. Listen now.
Welcome back to the GSMC SciFi podcast with your favorite host, Ryan Holloway. So what ends up happening is they get the dinosaurs back, and there's a part where Claire and Chris Pratt, they're basically on this great escape to make it back. You have to watch it for that part or whatever. But basically the dinosaurs get back at this mansion. The billionaire's assistant ends up trying to sell the dinosaurs to like all these billionaires that come over to like buy these dinosaurs. The thing that got me was apparently what they wanted to do was weaponize the dinosaurs, and like some people wanted them for exotic pets, right? Like people own tigers and lions and all that. Some people wanted them for exotic pets, and then some people wanted to weaponize the dinosaurs. And it kind of got me because what ends up happening is there's a part during like the final fight scene, like during all the chaos, when Chris Pratt and Claire are trying to stop the cells dinosaur. There's a big part at the end. Not even at the end, but you guys have seen most of these movies where they end up using a dinosaur to like kill another dinosaur. This happens at the end of every Jurassic Park movie. Like a T-Rex to come out, and the T-Rex came out in the last one and killed that other dinosaur that was gonna. You guys have seen it. But what ends up happening is that these two people are about to get attacked, two of the good guys, as you would say, the protagonists, and they open the cage to the raptor. The raptor jumps out and like kills this guy and protects him. Now, there's one group of people that's 100% against weaponizing these dinosaurs and making them weapons, and they want them to just live happily ever after on some island somewhere, so that we know they exist in them for our entertainment. While there's another group of people that wants to sell them and then wants to buy these dinosaurs and have them for their own and like have like an actual pet dinosaur at home. Now, I found it interesting because when you watch this movie, it's sold to you in a way where in the beginning, like, well, the dinosaurs are on this island and it's their right to be alive and we should save them. They're a species and we should take them back to the island because people can see them and they can be dinosaurs and kids can grow up with dinosaurs around. And that's for our entertainment as well, right? Even if it's educational entertainment, that's for our entertainment as well. And we're okay. One group was okay with that, but that same group is not okay with people buying these dinosaurs and then using them for their own needs or whatever. And I was like, and I noticed what the conclusion I came to is that it's about power, right? It's not really about the dinosaurs. It's about who has power of this particular commodity, because one group wants to have them on an island where they can see it and learn from it and have experiences and be educated. The other group wants to buy it and then use it for whatever they personally want to use it for. And once I finally got that message of the movie, I could finally see I could see, I guess, the conflict that an adult could focus on within that actual movie. Because for the most part, it's people running from dinosaurs. There's a guy in it. He's the comic relief. Of course, he's there to work with the computers. Of course, he's really scrawny. Of course, he wears glasses. He's the stereotypical. I don't want to say like geek or nerd because those words are so negative. But he's a stereotypical introvert that isn't supposed to be around people or dinosaurs. So he says a bunch of small little one-liner things that are supposed to be pretty funny, right? And he's screaming throughout the whole movie. There's another little girl who's screaming throughout the whole movie because they're running from dinosaurs. I get it, but I just thought I saw the original one a while ago, and obviously not the first one, not in the 90s, but just recently I saw the other one, and what they've done with CGI, with these movies is so outstanding that not only is it better, but they've done a great job at making it not so far off than what they did before, right? And what I mean by that is if you watch the first Jurassic Park movie and see like the T-Rex who's like supposed to be the be-all end-all of dinosaurs, if you watch that and you see what the T-Rex looks like, in the newer movies you see the T-Rex, you're like, you know what, that's not that far off. I'm saying they didn't do weird things like add wings to him, make him soup. They've done a great job with these movies of keeping it, of giving nods, winks, nudges, paying homage to the old Jurassic Park movies. There's a part where I believe it's probably in like the first 30 minutes of the movie, after Chris Pratt gets shot with the tranquilizer, which is crazy. there's a part where he's by one of the older Jurassic Park trucks, one of the Jurassic Park Explorers, one of the Explorer trucks from like the first one. He's by like the wreckage of that. Which, I mean, of course you have to show wreckage, but they don't even have to do that. Like they could only show stuff from Jurassic World from 3 years ago, but they actually show like Jurassic World stuff from the 90s, which I think is a good way to pay homage and to pay, I guess, have some recognition for like the older movies. So I respect that as well. Another thing I could say about it is I want to say it gets a little silly at the end because there's a dinosaur. It's called the Endosaurus. It was like a massive, just rabid raccoon hyena rat of a dinosaur. It's ridiculously, it's insane. And this dinosaur who's a killer is like chasing this girl through a mansion. That part gets kind of silly. Other than that, I'm gonna say the ending was pretty good. I don't really know if I want to spoil the ending for you guys. I'm not sure where they're gonna go with this ending at all, but I'll tell you, it's fine. Are you ready? I'm gonna tell you what happens. Basically, throughout all this chaos and everything that happens in this mansion, like downstairs, there's this massive area where all these dinosaurs are being kept, and there's a fire, crazy stuff happens, all this wild stuff, and a bunch of cyanide ends up being released. And all the cyanide is being released, and the dinosaurs, dinosaurs are in this. They're in this massive. Let's just say they're in a room. That sounds like a drastic under exaggeration, but all these dinosaurs are in a room, and the cyanide's like killing him. And Claire is going to open up the doors to let them all out. And Chris Pratt's like, if you do that, there's no going back. You can't just release these. You can't release these dinosaurs on the world. You can't do that. And she closes the button and doesn't do it. And then they see the door open. They look back, and the little girl who's being saved pushed the button. She's like, I had to do it because they're alive just like me. And all these dinosaurs have just been freed to just run amok all over the world. And what I thought was what got me, because I'm a huge Planet of the Apes fan. That's my thing. I'm a huge Planet of the Apes fan. And what got me was when they show the locations of things, obviously, in these movies, and when they bring the dinosaurs to where they're bringing them into this mansion, it's in Northern California. And the way they sell it, where this guy lives at, it seems like it's in the redwoods. And that's where the Planet of the Apes guys were at. Like they were like in the redwoods, like they were in the redwoods hanging out, big chilling. So based on everything that we have within our sci-fi realm of just bringing stuff together, apparently in the future, sometime there's going to be talking apes and dinosaurs running a complete muck. But I didn't know this about these movies. Maybe I didn't notice in the first one, but I was under the impression that these Jurassic World movies were far, far, far in the future. Like I thought they were further out, way further out. But I saw an iPhone in the movie, so apparently it's supposed to be now, which kind of threw me off. It threw me off a little bit. I'm gonna tell you why when I get back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. Hey! The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to the GSMC SciFi podcast. brought to you on the GSMC Podcast Network to fulfill all of your podcasting needs. Now, I was saying that I thought these movies were based further in the future. For some reason, I'm not sure why I thought that, but I just thought that. So forgive me. But this woman had an iPhone, so I'm assuming that it's now, and that threw me off because usually when things are going haywire and certain decisions are being made, I think to myself, well, you know what? This movie or show didn't really tell me what time it is during our time on Earth as humans. So I feel like this goes, right? Because I feel like when I was first watching it and I was like, okay, well, this is reasonable. I could see people being so up in arms in the future about animals and animal rights, that these dinosaurs that were created as entertainment could be viewed as creatures that are losing their lives. I don't know. I could see it as that. That's what I meant, but I could see it as that. It being that far in the future. But she had an iPhone 8. So I'm like, wait a minute. This is now? No. This is now? Oh, okay. Well, of course Congress isn't going to accept this. Like I felt a little bit better about it. That's what was kind of going to throw me off about the movie. If Congress passed something where we have to save these dinosaurs, I'd have felt like, whoa, wait a minute. Come on, guys. We really? Come on. You guys serious? I'd have felt the way. I can't even lie. I can't even lie to you. But I suggest you go see it. I liked the movie. I thought it was pretty good. If you can take a kid with you, just because I feel like it's a good PG-13 movie. There's not a lot of violence in it, and there's dinosaurs in it. And Jurassic Park basically runs a dinosaur franchise basically forever. It's kind of like you can't have a car movie if it's not Fast and Furious. That's just the brand, right? That's just the brand. You can't have a dinosaur movie unless it's Steven Spielberg, Jurassic Park, #sponsored. You can't. If you do, they'll send people to your house at night, and you don't try to make your own dinosaur movie. That's all I'm saying. You guys should check it out. It's a great movie. I'm gonna give it. I mean, for what it was, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm going to give it a 4 for what it was, because I feel like there were some loose ends that needed to be tied up. There were some loose ends. You guys check it out. Let me know what you think. When you get a chance, I'd love for you to watch this movie on Netflix. It's called The Circle. Basically, the movie starts off with a lot of people, about, 50 people standing in a circle, pun intended. And they start dying every 2 minutes, and no one can quite figure out what the pattern is as to who's dying and why they're not dying. Then what they figure out is that they actually have options to vote on each other to see who's going to die, or who gets basically zapped and dragged away. The whole movie is in a room in a circle. There's 50 people. It is stellar. It's on Netflix. It's called The Circle. Please watch it. I think you'd really like it. And it's really good because it has a good amount of social commentary in it, because the demographic of people is pretty large. There's, old people, younger people. There's a pregnant woman. There's a child. All the ethnicities, races, and genders are in there. All the genders that, I'm not going to go into that, but there's men and women in there, and you should watch. I think it's a good movie. There's a police officer in there that gets into argument with some other guy, and then another guy gets to argument with like an older lady about age, and it's a good movie. It ends, the ending's good. And it kind of sucked me in, because when I turned it on I read the paragraph, and it was like 50 people have to decide who's going to live. And I was like, this sounds interesting. Is this like a Saw thing, or is this just an intellect thing? Because I don't really want to see 50 people with chainsaws. I don't want to see that. It's silly to me. But to watch people just like, they couldn't step out of this circle, and they could vote with like their hand, and the way they talk about it, and the way they choose people that have to die, and the way people's actions and things they say gets them, I guess, murdered. And then the way people try to play the game, they like lie during it's really good. So if you get a chance, check it out. It's called The Circle. It's on Netflix. You're gonna like it. It's only an hour and a half. It's probably one of the best movies on Netflix right now. And the reason I endorse this so heavily is because I enjoy psychological, not horror. I don't know if this counts as science fiction. It probably is. And they're using, I feel like there's part of them at the end, not at the end. Well, no, how do I say this? They basically tell you during the movie that they got pulled up onto a ship. So what they're on, you're supposed to believe it's the ship, right? So it's kind of sci-fi and it twists your mind a little bit. And I definitely think you'd enjoy it. Check it out. It's on Netflix. It's called The Circle. This has been your favorite host, Ryan Holloway, with another episode of the GSMC SciFi podcast, brought to you by and presented on the GSMC the GSMC Podcast Network to fulfill all of your podcasting needs. Live long, prosper, watch out for potholes. I will see you on Friday, actually. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks again.